G'day everyone. Bit of a choppy video this one. I've been sort of doing bits and pieces around the garage. Like I put a new hoist in. Well, I didn't put it, like it was already here, but I had to wire it up and install it. So that's handy. Got another car space back, so now I go to this room for activities here. And I got I haven't put this in yet, but I bought a bender off eBay. Tube bender for roll cage stuff. See how that goes. Doesn't look very good quality, but I'll probably do a video on how well that goes. It was like $1,400 or something. Still pretty expensive, but other benders are like double that by the time you buy all the dies and stuff. That one comes with like 4, so the dies are what's expensive. And I'm just like organizing the garage because I had to move all my shelving and stuff around, so got some of these little storage things to put my nuts and bolts in, so I can get rid of all my nuts and bolts are all stored down here, like M8s and M6. They're all like sorted and stuff, but like it's pretty average use of a trolley, really. So I'll put them up there. I've always wanted that, and I use those to actually keep stuff sorted, so I will actually use those. A lot of people just end up letting dirt pile up in those, and that's about it. But yeah, I had like racks over there where the engine crane is, and then I had to put them around the corner. Got this little alleyway back here, which is just full of stuff. S13 subframes, modded and stuff, like power steering racks. I got exhaust down there in the corner. Junk everywhere. But yeah, spent this week sorting, moving, making stuff better, trying to make it better. And I had to put in the kitty cat steps so the kitty could get up to the roof, because Kitty normally used to jump up on top of the boxes that were there, so Toby can still get up on the roof and sunbake and look after his furs. But yeah, so I've got to work out where to put this thing, because obviously you buy lengths of tube, pretty long, 6 meters or something, so you need a fair bit of length out one side of your bender and this space, and then obviously when you start bending it, you know, you need room to swing the tube. A hoop is probably what, like 4 meters by the time you finish bending it from a straight piece. So I think I may actually put it over here. I was kind of hoping to temporarily bolt it down. I'm going to use that trolley to make a trolley for my TIG welder. I meant to do that today, but as usual, slipped in. But yeah, so I think I'll put my tube bender here so the long lengths of tube can run down through there between the hoist. There's a fan in the way. The tubes can go through and down that way, and then I can bend them around that way into this area over here. And yeah, I was hoping to get some sort of they're like a nut that goes in, like a ram set nut that goes in the concrete, so you can just bolt bolts into it, but Bunnings didn't have them, so I just got these big screw-in bolts for now, so I can you can screw them in and screw them out a few times. Eventually the thread wears off going in and out, but I'll probably go to the bolt shop and see if I can get some of those other things, the nut insert things, because I want to be able to take this thing out and stand it in the corner, because I probably only use it, like I've had it for 2 years now and never used it, so I want to be able to move it out of the way and shove it somewhere. Don't want to have it in the way. It's quite a, like, this is the pedestal that it goes on, which is like waist high. Then you have that big thing on top of it. This thing weighs a ton. It's made from like 16mm plate steel or 15mm, and it's not the lightest item to pick up and move, or to put on a shelf. I put it on one of those dodgy Bunnings shelves, almost fell through it. Anyway, but yeah, so I haven't done much on the old FD this week, so that's a bit sad, but sometimes you just got to prioritize. It's good to get another hoist in. That means I can work on 2 projects at once with all this time that I have. So that's CATS S14, which needs a fair bit of stuff done to it still, but all the underside's done, I think. But I was going to tub the back and cut the whole back off. But yeah, that's in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna bolt this tube bender down, and maybe I'll have a crack at that. I've got a bit of tube over there I can bend, I think. So test her out. We'll see how that goes. So check it out. I put this thing on the scales. 29 kilos, this thing. It's not the lightest thing in the world. And I found the box for it with the dies in it. Comes with 3. Sorry, I said 4 before, I think. It's 44, 38, and 25. So use the 25 to make smaller nudge bars and stuff, and strop braces and those sorts of things. And the 38 and the 44 is the size of the roll cage tubing. And bolted it down in the garage, and I've set it up so that the tube comes between the 2 hoists from that way, and then I'll bend it around and it'll swing around in the area where I'm working. So you gotta kind of think about it when you're going to set one up. I probably will pull it out afterwards. I just got those screw-in bolts, bigger versions of these, which you just drill a hole and literally just screw them in like a screw. So hopefully they don't rip out of the ground. But this thing will probably snap off at the welds before it rips out of the ground. But we'll see. I found 2 bolts, but they don't look like the bolts that hold it together. So I've had it for like years. So I got to find the bolts that go on the bottom of it. Stay tuned for a second. I found the bolts to hold the actual thing onto the thingy, the bender onto its post. Let's put you over here. Whoop. Find the handle too. I don't know what the handle is. It's been sitting on that trolley for like a year. It's definitely less refined than other ones I've seen, like Speedworks and that. Bitch, you get what you pay for. Considering I don't make many roll cages, it's not really worth me spending a whole heap of money on a fancy one. Should weld the nuts on there, shouldn't I? Got a gauge and the numbers are actually stamped into it, and the the gauge. So apparently there were some cheap ones in America on the website. They use Harbor Freight or something, and they were just like printed on and they wiped off with whatever cleaning fluid people would use to clean their pipe. So people got irritated at that. Came with the Allen keys and everything too. What's in there? This is a 25mm die. I don't have any 25mm tube. How do I use that? Look at that one. I got a bit carried away and I put all my nuts and my bolts in my boxes. Yeah. Sorted. So nice to have all your stuff sorted. Even so, I still work in an absolute pigsty. So shit, I think I've got some 38mm tube over there. Oh. I need the guide. These are the guides. So the only problem with this type of bender that I see is it actually drags the tube through this as it pushes it around and bends it. So I guess, you know, you get steel rubbing on steel. It's not the nicest idea in the world. Open those up. Everything's lightly oiled in the plastic. So I was able to purchase it and let it sit for a year and nothing's rusty or dodgy. Well, definitely dodgy, but yeah, once again, you get what you pay for. This is the dies. The quality of the finishing here is definitely not the same as what I've seen on Speedworks ones or the other ones that I used to use in the shop. Yeah, look at that sweet weld. It's like not attached there. Probably snap off, fly back and hit me in the guts. It'll be good. Perfectly rotated. rotating very quickly. Yeah. So basically, 2. I have no idea what this little nut and grub screw is for. There was no instructions for this thing. Like it's the same, built the same as a Speedworks one, I guess you'd say. Alright, let me work it out. When I do, I'll come back. So I found a piece of 38 tube, seamless, race tech stuff. It's already got a notch on one end from where I was going to use it for something else, but some it's in there. Managed to put it in there. Not too sure about this dial meter thing. I was trying to work out. I feel like it should have like a little pointy thing that points at the you know, so it knows where so you know where you're at. But it doesn't seem to have. So as far as I'm aware, we just hook that onto the thingy and we just pull it. And you just, this is hard to film. Let me put you over here somewhere. And then you take this pin out of here and you go back a hole. Oh look, you can see it's dragging a burr on here, so I might have to clean up the slip die, whatever you want to call that thing. It's coming. Where's my light? Get my light so you guys can see. So I'm sure there's guys out there that'd be interested in buying their own, like so, making your own roll cages because they're expensive to get made. And they're not too hard to make yourself. I mean, it's hard to make one really nice. It fits super tight to the chassis and everything. It takes a long time, and that's why you pay so much. But you can bend one up and have it not so tight to your chassis and weld it in, or get it welded in by someone that can weld, and save yourself quite a bit of cash. Do a few for your mates. But yeah, it's dragging on that edge there. Oh. Same on the bottom up there. But anyway, give it another couple of pulls and pull it out and we'll check it out. Alrighty, so I bent the full diameter of the die. spin off the end there. It's as far as you can go. You go past there, you'll start kinking the back. So I wanted to see how it starts and finishes in the radius and what the inside of the bend is like. Most importantly, like I should be able to sand up the slide die and get rid of these. They're like tiny, like my fingernail just catches in them. But apart from that, pretty happy so far. Like nothing snapped, it didn't fall over. Hasn't killed me. As far as the gauge goes, I've used other die, other machines where the back edge of the die lines up with the gauge. I don't know, I might have to set something up myself. But anyway, let's just see if it can make nice bends first. Dang, daddy. You still filming? Yes. So, can you see? Where can I put you? Sort of really over into the light a bit, so we can see this in the light. And we can check out the... So the most important I find on a lot of benders is they crush in at the start there. But you can see on this one, it's actually pretty nice. And there's no wrinkles. The finish, I went past the finish a bit as well, by 10 mil. And it didn't crush in or kink over. So, yeah, with that, and it's past 90 degrees. By a fair bit, the die. So some benders you've obviously got to buy, they only sell like 90-degree dies, and then you've got to buy like the 170s or the 180s, and they're super expensive. But it's just this annoying little drag on the edge from the slide die. You can hear my glove catching on it there. It's decent, definitely. You couldn't leave it. You got to do something about it. And if you made your roll cage like that and took it to a CAMS event, they would fail it because you're not allowed to have marks in your tubing. So, or you'd fail when you got your cage inspected. Yeah. So we need to fix that. But apart from that, pretty happy. The bent tube didn't kink the crapper out of it. And it was relatively cheap. I think it was like $14.50 or something. eBay, picked it up in Springvale, down here in Melbourne, for a friendly little chap. You had all kinds of machines and stuff there. There you go, that's enough for this video. Thanks for watching. Slowly getting the garage set up the way I've always wanted it, but have all the tools so I can just do everything myself. I needed that set up so I can make nudge bars and stuff for the FD to hold the bumpers on. Yeah, and for the S14, could do the tube work in the back for the rear cut. So, thanks for watching. Check out the I Love Drift website ilovedrift.com.au. So, got a whole bunch of new products and stuff for the girls, leggings and dresses and stuff. So if you need a present for someone special, or you just like to dress comfortably, check it out. Hey. Check you next time. I'll try and make this video shorter. The last one was ridiculous, half an hour. Who wants to watch that? And yeah, like if you think it's too long or there's too much welding and footage and stuff going on, let me know. I don't think anyone needs to see that stuff. But yeah, thanks. See ya.